Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Rama Rama
Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Jai Radhe Shyam 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 Jai Radhe Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Mai Subhadra Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Mai Subhadra Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai
Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya
Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura
Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Namaste Narasimhaya Namaste Narasimhaya Prahlada Daine Prahlada Daine Hiranyakashipurvakshaha Hiranyakashipurvakshaha Shilatankanakalaye Shilatankanakalaye Hito Narsimha Parato Narsimha Narsimha Parato Narsimha Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimha
Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimha
Bahir Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha Bahir Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha Narasingha Madim Sharanam Prapadye Kavakara Kamalavare Nakham Adbhuta Shringam Galita Hiranyakashipo Tanubringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Avakara Kamalavare Nakham Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipo Tanubringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha
Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
Jaya Narsimha Dev 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 Jaya Narsimha Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramams Parivrajakaacharya Ashtotra Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramams Parivrajakaacharya Ashtotra Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन धाम की जय। वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय। मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा मई यमुना मई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी महारानी की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Yeah. Hare Krishna, welcome. Couple of, at least one returning face and one new face. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. It's a very special day. We're going to celebrate, or we're going to discuss the glories of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, some of the glories of Gauranga Mahaprabhu and importance of Gaura Purnima. We'll start off, as always, with Kirtan. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. We'll start with the invocation prayers. So those of you who don't know, you can just listen. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So nowadays, right, people dispute pretty much everything, right? That is the nature now. That is how the people have sort of, I shouldn't say devolved into. Anything and everything is disputed. Even facts have alternate facts now, right? So in this type of a world, environment, when we bring up spiritual concepts, it is very easy for people to dismiss that as well, right? And that is one of the symptoms of Kali Yuga. But no matter what people may dispute, there is one thing that is completely undisputed, which is, or rather, let's put it differently. What is the one thing that we all seek? All living entities are looking for this one thing. What is that? Happiness, right? Happiness. Peace, so that it leads to happiness, right? But eventually we are all looking for happiness. So the corollary of that is, or the inference from that is that everyone, nobody can dispute that we are all miserable, right? The fact that we are looking for everyone in the world is looking for happiness means everybody has some form of misery or the other, correct? So when we, like everyone, anybody wake up today and say, today I don't want to be happy? No, right? Every single day we do it, right? But, it's not just us. Even birds and animals are looking to be happy, right? If a bird is trapped in a cage, that bird keeps attacking that cage over and over again, tries to bite and attacks it over and over again in an attempt to break out and break free, right? We are doing it in a different form. How are we doing it? By trying to accumulate resources, right? Accumulating money, accumulating family, accumulating friends, accumulating, different types of relationships so that we can do. But why are we doing that? Why are we accumulating? Why do we want to accumulate money? To enjoy, right? To get happiness. Because one cannot be happy when there are limitations. Agreed? When there are limitations, you cannot be really happy, correct? Now, is there anyone in this world who is free of limitations? Anyone at all in this world who is free of limitations? No? Yes?
Can I say a renunciate?
Let's not go there yet, but we'll come to that. Good point, but we'll come to that in a minute. But when you think about from a material lens, even the richest person in the world is not free of limitations. Do we agree? Yes. Even the most beautiful person in the world is not free of limitations, right? The most powerful. No matter what material things you accumulate, is there any path to be free of limitations? No, right? So now, hold this thought for a minute. Now consider this next. Imagine there is an animal that was born in captivity in the zoo or whatever, and then there is another animal that was trapped from the wild and brought in. Which would be more miserable? The one which was in the wild would be more miserable. Why? Because it had freedom and it lost. The one born in captivity has no idea that there is a world outside these four walls, right? So it won't be as miserable as the one that was actually roaming around and was brought in, because that animal knows that there is something free. So now let's go back to the earlier thought. Since no one in this material world we see is full of limitation, right? Then how do we know what is that happiness that we are all striving for? Right? We all said all of us are looking for happiness. We said nobody in this material world has found it because there are limitations. If there is no situation in this material world where there is happiness to be found or there is no limitation, how is it that we know that there is some happiness to be found? Right? We have. What does that mean? It means we have tasted that happiness at some point. Right? Just like that animal born in captivity versus the animal trapped, we have had that happiness, we have had that freedom, that unlimited, ever-increasing bliss at some point before. Because we had that taste before, we are now trying to seek it desperately every situation that we can. Does it make sense so far, logically? So then, in what form would we have gotten that taste, right? If this material body is what is trapping us in this material world, setting limitations, which is preventing me from seeking that, getting that, experiencing that happiness, that means at some point, whenever, some long time ago, I have had a form that was allowed me to experience that happiness, right? And what is that? What is that? Our real identity. Who are we? We are spirit soul. We are not this body, right? How do we know we are not this body? How do we know we are not this body? Any guesses?
Because once leave this world,
When somebody leaves this, when somebody passes away, the body is still there, but we say the person is gone, right? So who is that person then, if it's not this body? Another easy logical example is, what was my body 5 years ago is not what it is now. My body has changed so much in the last 5 years, 10 years. But I have not. I am still the same person, right? So that means I am different from this body. We also use everyday words. We say my body, my hand. Who is the I? Right? And Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita that we are not this body, we are spirit soul. Right? And Krishna says that he is the father of all living entities. Aham bija pradaha pita, he says. So as a loving father, he sees us that we are all living our lives in illusion. Why is it called Maya? Maya means that which is not. I think I am this body, which I am not. Everybody in this material world is more or less, everybody is living that way, that they are this body. So when Krishna, as the loving father, saw that we are tying ourselves, or we are thinking ourselves as this body, which means we are suffering a lot. So out of love, he came to this material world 5,000 years ago, and he spoke the Bhagavad Gita. Right? He provided instructions so we can overcome this illusion. And again, why should we overcome? Why should we overcome this illusion? What happens when we overcome this illusion?
We understand that we are the spirit soul, not the body.
Then what happens then? So what?
Then we will get the happiness.
Then we will be happy. Right? So all this, if you're following along the train of thought, right? So it's all connected. So so that we can be happy, right? Now when all our activities, we said we are not this body, we are soul. But when we look at our day, how much of our activities are related to the soul and how much are related to the body? Right? So for the example we can take is, even in when we are driving a car, when there is an accident, do people rush to see what happened to the car first? You first look at the people in the car, right? Why? Because that is more valuable. Not only that, that is life, right? That is the real identity of the person of value within the car. So if we focus, or the other example is, let's say you're going on a road trip, all you do is, fill gas in the car, you wash the car, you clean the car, but you don't feed the people in the car. Would that be considered intelligent? That would be foolish, right? So now if we think that I am not this body, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that we are as if yantra rudhani mayaya. We are all sitting in this body, which is a yantra, which is an instrument. We are sitting in this machine and operating it. But out of influence of Maya, we think we are this machine. So when we don't do anything for the soul, but do everything for the outer covering, which is the body, is there any way for the soul to be happy? No. Right? So Krishna comes and he gives this instructions. Arjuna, when he started in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, was very despondent, right? He was very, he couldn't do anything. He was so emotionally moved that he even dropped his Gandiva. He refused to fight. So Krishna then gave him the instructions in the Bhagavad Gita which allowed him to overcome that, right, and become successful. Now, Krishna went back and then he saw, okay, I've given all these instructions, but still people are not happy because people are not able to follow these instructions, they are not able to apply it. So people were struggling. So then he comes back as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? So I'll read one verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. There are invocation prayers prior to reading this, so please repeat after me. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is Adi Leela, chapter 3, verse 20. I'll read the verse and translation and the purport and then we will discuss. Apani karimu bhakta bhava angikare, apani achari bhakti sikhaimu sabare. Translation: I shall accept the role of a devotee and I shall teach devotional service by practicing it myself. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When one associates with a pure devotee, he becomes so elevated that he does not aspire even for sarshti, sarupya, samipya or salokya, because he feels that such liberation is a kind of sense gratification. Pure devotees do not ask anything from the Lord for their personal benefit. Even if offered personal benefits, pure devotees do not accept them, because their only desire is to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead by transcendental loving service. No one but the Lord Himself can teach the highest form of devotional service. Therefore, when the Lord took the place of the incarnation of Kali Yuga to spread the glories of chanting Hare Krishna, the system of worship recommended in this age, He also distributed the process of devotional service performed on the platform of transcendental spontaneous love. To teach the highest principles of spiritual life, the Lord Himself appeared as a devotee in the form of Lord Chaitanya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in 1486 on Purnima day. So that day is the day this year is on Tuesday, March 3rd. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself appearing in the mood of a devotee. Right? So he appeared in the mood of a devotee. So he is like a hidden avatar. The scriptures say Channa, he is hidden. He is not declaring himself to be the Supreme Lord. And so Krishna sometimes is known as Tri Yuga, because he only appears in 3 yugas and not in Kali Yuga. But he does appear in this Kali Yuga as a devotee. And that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He came in the mood of a devotee. Now, the purpose, as we read from Chaitanya Charitamrita, he came to teach the process of bhakti. Right? Who better to teach the process of bhakti than the Supreme Lord? Right? And he also came to experience the pleasure of bhakti. So, it is so wonderful that the happiness that you get from performing bhakti is so immense that the Supreme Lord himself comes to experience. Krishna is all-knowing, all-controlling, but he cannot understand the glories of bhakti himself. So he says, I have to experience this. I see my devotees feel so happy. I want to experience this joy. So I will come as a devotee myself to experience this. Right? So that is the Gauranitai that we see there. So the personality to our right on the leftmost photo is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga. Now, if you think about it, if you take dharma, right? The word dhar, what does dhar mean in Hindi? Sorry? Hindi. Dhar is like to hold, right? It says to hold on to something, right? Hindi, Sanskrit. Dhar means to hold on to something, right? The love is the only thing that holds us together, is it not? That is the only thing that can effectively hold two people together. There's nothing else that can, right? Even if people are saying, okay, if we are partners, we will make a lot of money. But when it's focused on money, what happens? Conflict. If it is related to where you live, you have some conflict potential with your neighbors, for example. Right? So there is only one thing. Even families, even though familial ties are there, if there is no love, they cannot be together. Right? So love is the only glue that can effectively hold people together. And that is shown in various forms. People have love for their country, they become patriots, they try to do some things, right? Love for your family, love for religion, all of this. So you associate, say, okay, we are countrymen because we both love the country. We have a common thing that we love, so we get together, right? This is very common. But the real love is love for the Supreme Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give this gift of love of God, and he even gave it to even animals in the forest of Jharkhand. Right? In the forest of Jharkhand, he actually gave this love to all the wild animals there. They became devotees. So then you can imagine any human can practice. If animals can practice bhakti or experience love for the Lord, then any human can practice. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had endless mercy. He is known as Mahavadanyaya because he had so much mercy. And he distributed that mercy without any discrimination. He gave it to anybody and everybody. Right? So even the most fallen people could get love for the Supreme Lord. We saw from the pastime of Jagai Madai a couple of weeks ago. Right? That is why he is known as Mahavadanyaya. Now, not only did he distribute it to everyone, his deep desire was that this love for the Lord must be spread to every town and village in this world, he said. Right? He said, and he personally came to show how to practice and achieve this. Now, that takes us another thought process, right? If you think about it, is it easy to develop true love? No, right? The billions and billions of dollars pumped into these fictional movies and books are all meant for that because they know nobody can find it. So now imagine if material love is difficult, now imagine pure love for God, how difficult it must be to get, right? So, because most people are not qualified to accept this love. For example, if somebody is giving away milk, right? You go, you take a piece of cloth, they give milk. Can you get milk? You need some sort of an object that can actually receive the milk. Is it the person who is giving the milk, is it their fault? Because the milk is there, it's freely flowing. Same way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is freely flowing. But the fact that we don't have the right vessel with which we can take that mercy and apply it is a problem. So, Mahaprabhu also gave a very simple process to accept this gift, this wonderful gift. He gave a very simple process. He had only one instruction. What was that? Chant. That was his only instruction. Chant. Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. Right? Chant and spread this name to others. That was his primary instruction. So, no qualification needed even. Anybody and everybody can chant. Only if there is no qualification can we use it and apply it to become qualified. Right? If I need to be qualified even to start the process, then there is no hope. So Mahaprabhu said chant. He gave a powerful process, a very simple process that we can easily follow. In this age of Kali, our intelligence is lower. Our lifespan is lower. Right? Forget compared to previous ages. But even in this age, right, it's a common refrain. The younger generation cannot think as much, right? We cannot even, the brain, the way it works has changed pretty drastically even in the last 5 to 6 decades. Now you can imagine how powerful it would have been in Satyuga and all that, right? So in those ages, they were able to sit and meditate. They lived for 100,000 years. So they could meditate for 10,000, 20,000 years and achieve perfection, right? But in this age of Kali, I mean, if you live 100 years, it is an amazing thing, right? And our intelligence is low, our attention span is low. We have so many problems. So a process like meditation or doing elaborate deity worship, doing big yajnas, none of these can be done practically in this age of Kali. So Mahaprabhu gave a very simple process, which is simply chant. No qualification needed, simply chant. And all his life, he emphasized it. Right at the time of his birth, he was born on the lunar eclipse. This third is a special combination where we also have lunar eclipse on Gaura Purnima. So he appeared on lunar eclipse. Why? In India, during lunar eclipse, or the scriptures recommend that you should chant during the eclipse time. So he appeared at this time when he knew everybody will be chanting to indicate the importance of chanting. So he appeared then. Not only that, as a young child, he would cry and cry until somebody would chant the Lord's names near him, then he would become silent. So even as a newborn baby, he was engaging everyone around him in chanting the Lord's names. Now Mahaprabhu, some people may say, chanting is too simple. How effective can it be? I need to be, my intelligence, right? My strength, I have all these talents. I can sing, I can dance, whatever is our talent. Why not I do that? Why do something like chanting, right? So Mahaprabhu, in a young age, he was known as Nimai Pandit because he was an expert in Sanskrit. He was a Sanskrit scholar, right? And even though he was a Sanskrit scholar and all devotees who were around were waiting to see how he would use his intelligence. So even having that high an intelligence, where he was such an expert that he defeated the greatest Vidwan of that era. As a young boy, he defeated the greatest Vidwan of that era called Keshav Kashmiri effortlessly. But still, he used all that intelligence to chant the Lord's names. Right? He demonstrated that bhakti is the perfect way of engaging one's intelligence and one's learning, no matter what field we are in. Whatever knowledge, whatever talent, whatever intelligence we have, we should use it in bhakti. Right? In a way, it makes sense. Because whatever we have comes from whom? From God, right? Whatever we have comes from Krishna. So, the right thing is to use whatever Krishna is giving us in His service. Right? So, Mahaprabhu started this Sankirtana Yajna in Navadvip, right? Mayapur. He would chant and engage others in chanting. So much so, he also taught us that when someone faces obstacles in chanting, one should not give up. Right? Now, this chanting that he was doing, it was being done behind closed doors. All this Sankirtana he was doing behind closed doors. Right? Even Mahaprabhu would do that in an intimate group. At that time, Nawab Hussain Shah was the king of Bengal, and his spiritual advisor was known as Chand Kazi. That was his name. Now, Chand Kazi hated Hindus and had banned open practice of any Hindu religious practice or ritual. Right? So, Chand Kazi was walking around one day and he heard Harinam Sankirtan. Right? And he was so angry that he sent soldiers to beat those who were chanting the names of Krishna. So his soldiers plundered houses, beat them up, and they would punish the people. Now one day he heard Kirtan going on at Sriva Sanga. That is where Mahaprabhu would normally, that is where he started the Sankirtana Yajna, that is where he would be. But one day Chand Kazi heard it, and he walked in, he broke the mridangas and threatened to kill them. Now when this happened, because Srivas was one of the closest associates of the Supreme Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so they went and came to Mahaprabhu and said, Mahaprabhu, we should move. Let's move to a different place where we can freely practice bhakti. Right? So Mahaprabhu decided, no, instead he decided to gather everyone and take out a Sankirtan procession. There were, Prabhupada says this was the first violent protest. Right? Because what he did was gather thousands of people and they would be singing Harinam and walking towards Chand Kazi's house. He established leaders for individual parties and they would all walk through, right? They divided them into groups and they would walk. Then they danced and sang in ecstasy and walked to Chand Kazi's house. It is said that the procession was so ecstatic that even demigods came and joined that procession because it was so much pleasure that they didn't want to miss out, that they joined in as humans. Everyone was absorbed in the holy name and was seeing the form of Lord Gauranga. Right? Now, Chand Kazi saw the crowd coming and he sent out soldiers to stop them. Right? The soldiers came, but when they saw the crowd and their determination, they gave up and they dissipated. Right? So then Mahaprabhu told his servant to bring Chand Kazi. So Chand Kazi came and he said, I was close friends with your father. He said, Mahaprabhu, he told Mahaprabhu, I was close friends with your father, so I am like your uncle. Right? And, everybody expected that Chand Kazi will react very violently. But he spoke very respectfully. And when he spoke respectfully, Mahaprabhu also responded in a respectful manner. Right? So what had happened was Chand Kazi said that last night in his dreams, after he broke the mridanga and threatened Srivas and all of the people there, Narasimhadev came in his dream and warned him not to disturb devotees. And just to make sure that Chandkazi doesn't think it's a dream, he left scratch marks on his body from his nails. Right? So Chandkazi woke up from his dream and he was like, oh, but he could feel the scratches. So he realized, yes, this is something different. No? This is the Supreme Lord himself. I should be more cautious, more careful. Right? So Chandkazi actually, that is why we worship Narasimhadev in Iskcon. Whenever there is any obstacles to bhakti, if you pray to Lord Narasimhadev, he will remove those obstacles. That is why he is the protector of devotees. Right? He protected Prahlad Maharaj. That was why he appeared. Right? So Chandkazi then declared that neither he nor his descendants will ever interrupt devotees. So then he was given bhakti by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because he made that declaration, he was given bhakti. He was actually Kamsa in Krishna Leela. He appeared as Chandkazi. Right? Now, the Supreme Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took initiation from Ishwarapuri. Right? So now, the Lord knows everything. He has no need. But he took initiation from a bona fide disciplic succession to show the importance of doing that. Right? Why is a disciplic succession important? See, material knowledge can be gathered in so many sources, right? Nowadays, we have this big issue where on the internet, we don't know what is real and what is false, right? There's so much fake news, so many things going on. So even material things, if we cannot find out what is true and what is false, how difficult it is to find out what is real spiritual knowledge, right? Material, at least we have some experience. We can know, okay, this makes sense, this doesn't. But we have no spiritual experience. We just said half an hour earlier that we all think we are this body. We don't even know that we are spirit soul or apply that we are spirit soul. So how can we get knowledge associated with spirit soul? The only way to get it is from the Supreme Lord. Now you'll say, rightfully, I don't see the Lord in front of me, what do I do? So the Lord established disciplic succession. In the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu. He says that this knowledge, the king of all knowledge, can be obtained only through the disciplic succession. So the Lord explained it, then that person explained it to their disciple, to their disciple, to their disciple. So that is the relationship between a spiritual master and the disciple. So the spiritual master is like this window, right? If the window has no tint, we can see what is outside as it is. The spiritual master is a transparent via medium, where they will pass on the message from the Supreme Lord as it is, without editing, without adding, without changing things, right? And that is the importance of taking initiation when you get. That is why if you take the Bhagavad Gita as it is, Prabhupada has written in page 30 how this knowledge was passed down to establish its bona fide credentials. You don't, if I say buy a textbook and read, you don't buy any textbook, right? You look at what is certified, which one is recommended. If you want to learn something, you go to an accredited university or an accredited class. You don't just walk up to somebody randomly and say, tell me, right? But why do we do that with spiritual things? Somebody told us do this, we do this. Somebody says do that, we do that. That is not proper. We have to find the right source. We have to find the bona fide authority and learn from them. Only then we will know. That is why Prabhupada has written these books, so we can learn from him, who is a bona fide acharya in the disciplic succession. Now, Mahaprabhu, talking of acharyas, Mahaprabhu named Haridas Thakur Namacharya. Haridas Thakur was born Muslim, but he would chant 192 rounds a day. One round is 108 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He would chant 182 or 192 rounds every day. So 3 lakh names is what he would chant every day, right? And he chanted it so perfectly that Mahaprabhu called him Namacharya. So Mahaprabhu dismissed all external things. Doesn't matter what your caste is, what your creed is, what your race is, male, female, nothing matters. Why? Why doesn't it matter? What are all these things? What are they related to? Body. And what is our real identity? Spirit, soul. So why does it matter that I have a body like this now? Next life, I don't know what body my soul will have. So Mahaprabhu never took into consideration what were the bodily designations, because he knew what the real identity was and he preached that way. So much so that when Haridas Thakur passed away, Mahaprabhu personally carried his body, bathed it and placed it in Samadhi. So Haridas Thakur's Samadhi was established by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So, moreover, Mahaprabhu inquired from Ramananda Rai, who was from a lower caste. Mahaprabhu was a sannyasi and he was in a lower position in the society, Ramananda Rai. But Mahaprabhu inquired from him for 10 days and they had a spiritual discussion. He is showing us that we must inquire in a humble mood from proper sources. Krishna mentions this too in the Bhagavad Gita. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya, he says. That you must approach in humility. Who should you approach? Those who have seen the truth. Right? Because only they can explain it. Right? If all of our hands are tied, who can free us? Somebody whose hands are not tied. Right? So instead of taking opinions and guidance from people who don't know, who are like us, we should take opinion and guidance from somebody who is free of all these material designations. One who can actually see and apply in daily life that they are not this body, they are spirit soul. Right? So Mahaprabhu, throughout his life and his teachings, he taught by experience, by example, he taught by example. And that was the big difference between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the avatari and Krishna. Krishna gave instructions, right? But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed us how to apply day to day, how to apply those same instructions and attain the perfect gift, which is love for the Lord. Because when we attain that, then we can taste that in our heart, that happiness that we know is there, because we had that taste before. We got trapped in this body. That is why we are all looking for that happiness. By applying or by understanding this pure love for God, to achieve that pure love for God, to get to that stage where you can receive that mercy, one must chant. If we chant, then we will experience that. We will become ready to receive the mercy of Mahaprabhu and experience that. Any questions or comments? No? Anything anybody wants to add? Anything that I said that was not what you experienced, or some questions? Yes?
Did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew that he is the avatar of Supreme Lord?
So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Supreme Lord himself. He is not. So, Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are not avatars, they are avataris. They are the source of all avatars. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the mood of a devotee. So he knew though. He knew, but he never showed externally. There were very few select people who got to see his divinity. Right? Behind closed doors, he would show his divinity. In Jagai Madai pastime, he showed one time, he showed the divinity. Right? Otherwise, he would typically not show. If somebody even called him God, he would close his ears and say Hari Hari and run away because he didn't want to. He wanted to be showing as a devotee, but he knew that he is the Supreme Lord.
How he was able to get the pleasure of bhakti? If he was doing bhakti to
Because he adopted the mood of Radharani. So in his mind, his mood and attitude was of Radharani. It's because she is the perfect devotee, right? She is the topmost devotee. So if he wants to experience the best pleasure that bhakti can give, he has to come in the mood of Radharani to experience that. And because he came in that mood, his color is that of Radharani instead of the color of Krishna. Right? So he came in that mood. So his behavior, everything was that way. So he would go into ecstasy in bhakti and he would be that way. He very rarely, very, very rare instances are where he actually showed that he was the Supreme Lord. That is why he is known as hidden avatar.
Another thing, for chanting, Prabhu, when we are doing chanting, for example, in 108 rounds,
108 times.
Almost 100 times mind is just running
Yes.
here and there. So, does the soul is getting pleasure of that, chanting, or it depend on the brain also?
Yeah.
The brain should be focused, or I'm very confused, because I'm trying to
Yeah.
focus my brain.
It's a good question. So when we chant, the mind runs in 100 different directions, right? So if I give you an example, let's say tomorrow I tell you, let's go play tennis, right? When you when you start to play, what happens? Are you able to hit the ball the way you're supposed to? No, right? When I started, I tried my hand at golf for a bit. I was like a windmill, right? I would rarely, or more like a fan because I was generating that wind. I would rarely make contact with the ball, right? When you first play, you rarely make contact with the ball. And once you start making contact, does the ball go in the direction you want it to? Goes all over the place. So, what do you have to do then? Keep practicing. You learn from a coach or somebody who can teach you how to play properly, and you keep practicing. Eventually, you will get to that stage where you are able to hit the ball where you want to hit. In the same way, when we first start chanting, our mind runs everywhere. Why does it do it? Because it doesn't have taste in the name of the Lord. It doesn't understand, right? We don't enjoy it. For us, it's like, oh, it's a burden. I need to finish my rounds. I told this person I will chant 16 rounds, so I will do, or I told that person, something like that, right? That is called Vaidhi Bhakti. That because there was a rule given to you, you do it. But if you keep doing it, eventually you will come to a stage where all the impurities in our heart will be removed. When those impurities are removed, then we will get the taste. Then our mind will not go anywhere. Then our mind will go towards chanting. Right? And that is the power of chanting. That is why Mahaprabhu gave that verse. Cheto darpana marjana. Just like in a mirror, if it's a dirty mirror, you can't see the reflection. But that mirror's property is still the same. You just can't see it. When you clean it, then you can see the reflection. Our heart actually enjoys the pleasure of the Lord's names because we are His children. So we naturally have love and attraction for the Lord. But because there is so much impurity, it is not able to experience that, right? The example, let's say you made some really sweet kheer or something. You put a little bit of salt in it, what happens? or sand in it, what happens? Completely ruined, right? So even though there is so much sweet and so many other wonderful things in that kheer, little bit of salt or a little bit of sand ruins the whole thing. So even though our heart intrinsically is full of love for the Supreme Lord, those impurities are there, which are ruining our experience with chanting. But just like learning a new skill, we have to keep practicing so that the impurities are removed. And when the impurities are removed, the natural love, that intrinsic love and attraction for the Lord will automatically appear. So chanting is the process by which we clean. When we are cleaning, it is pretty miserable experience, isn't it? Anything we clean, you put a lot of effort, you put detergent, this, that, and then, but once you're done, you look at it, it feels good, doesn't it? So it may feel hard. The mind will run anywhere and everywhere. Don't worry, bring it back. Right? I think Bhaktivinoda Thakur said this. Your mind will go 100, it's okay, bring it back. You will not want to chant, it's okay, chant. You will not want to, it's okay, chant. Because that is the only process that has the power. I mean, there are many processes that have the power. This is the only process that is highly effective. Easy to do, right? And we have tasted this in some form or the other. The fact that you're sitting here, I'm hoping that throughout the course of the session, there was at least 1 or 2 points, instances where you got lost. You forgot that you are this body. You forgot that you are in this cold weather, right? There was at least 1 or 2 instances. So when we chant, it will come. But the scripture, it's more difficult to get it when we chant. So the scripture says start with hearing. Because the more you hear, the more knowledge you get. The more knowledge you get, the more convinced you are to apply. Then when you start applying, you see some result, you're like, oh, I see. Now I see what he was talking about. Let's go back. Now I see what Prabhupada is telling me to do this. I go back, right? So it's like a virtuous cycle that builds. And you will come to a stage where you won't be able to stop chanting. People have come to that stage, right? But until then, we have to keep working at it. Just like with anything new, you have to put in effort. It will be difficult going, but we will eventually get there. Long answer, but does that make sense?
Yeah.
It was a good question. So, yeah. Yes, Prabhu, you had another question?
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, when you mentioned that when you are about to ask someone, or when you have, you don't choose, but like when you inquire a guru, you make sure the person you are inquiring is already liberated. But how do we know? Like there's someone who says and there's someone who is.
Yeah. So it's a good question, right? How do we know that this person is a bona fide guru, right? So the scriptures have given certain metrics or measures for who can accept disciples, right? So Vacho, the nectar of instruction says Vacho vegam, manasakroda vegam, jivva vegam, udaropasta vegam, etan vegan yo vishahete dhira, sarvam apimam prithvim sasishyat. So one who has controlled their tongue, starting from tongue, all the senses all the way down to the genitals, including stomach, everything. One who has controlled all of these, such a person is qualified to accept disciples. So should not get angry, right? All these things, it's very clearly described. So this is just one shloka that I'm talking about. But there are many scriptural directions given for who's qualified to accept disciples. Now, it is like telling you, okay, these are the 5 pro players of tennis. You pick who is best to go play learn under. To even pick one amongst these, we have to have some level of expertise to pick, right? So when these instructions are given, it is difficult to apply because we ourselves don't know what it means to have full control of our senses. So how can we judge whether somebody has full control of senses? That is why the disciplic succession is given, right? So, for example, you take initiation from a spiritual master. Some of us are initiated here, right? My spiritual master took initiation from Prabhupada, right? Prabhupada deemed him suitable to be a disciple, and Prabhupada's other disciples deemed him suitable, or Prabhupada's godbrothers deemed him suitable to be a guru. Now, so that is one. You need to make sure that whoever you are going to accept as a spiritual master is connected in an authorized, bona fide disciplic succession. Number one. Two, you listen to that person, what they are saying. How are they behaving? You watch if you can, otherwise listen to what they are saying. Right? And then you see, is it connected? Is what they are saying, does that match what is given in the scriptures? Right? You ask others who are already in this process, who are more advanced than you ask them about these people, about them. You look at their disciples, see how they behave. Right? You have so many different inferences that you can draw, but the primary one is you should listen and see if they inspire you. Many people will speak inspiring words, right? That cannot be the only condition. Many people will speak. But when you listen, when you are ready to accept a spiritual master, Krishna will give inspiration from your heart to say, go. And he will bring that spiritual master to you. This may seem very unlike everything else that I talk about. This is one topic that may feel a bit, up in the air and not very specific, but that's okay, right? See, when you take initiation, you are declaring that you have fully accepted that bhakti is the path, bhakti is the only means of success. Once you have accepted that, then you can take a vow to say, yes, I will chant 16 rounds every day. I will follow all these rules and regulations. Why? Because I am fully convinced that this is the only way for me to get that everlasting, ever-increasing happiness. So until we get to that stage, it will be difficult to see. As you get closer to that stage, you will start to feel some things, and then the spiritual master will come to you. So Krishna will bring that spiritual master to you. Having said that, it is not a fashion statement. It is not to say I am initiated, I am this and that. That should not be the attitude. The only purpose of accepting a spiritual master is to follow the guidance so you can practice bhakti effectively. Technically, when you accept a spiritual master, you are supposed to surrender completely to that spiritual master. Many of us are not ready to do that. Even when we take initiation, some of us are not ready to do that, right? But even if we are not ready, the spiritual master accepts and waits until we are ready to listen and follow. Right? That is why when we start the invocation prayer that we said, Om Ajnana Timirandhasya, that is saying, I was born in the darkest of ignorance, darkness of ignorance. But my spiritual master is kindly opening my eyes. For everybody who's following in this Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, for all of us now, Prabhupada is the spiritual master, preeminent spiritual master. Because we read his books and we take inspiration from him. Right? At some point when we are ready to dedicate ourselves to following this path, right? And that doesn't mean you give up every other activity, right? But you say, yes, I'm convinced that bhakti is the best path and I will follow. At that point, Krishna will make sure that he will bring a spiritual master to you. At that time, when you start listening to all these different, like within Iskcon, there are so many initiating spiritual masters. You will listen to them, you will feel in your heart, yes, this person's teachings most resonate with who I am and who are, because they all say the same thing more or less, but they say it in different ways. Each one emphasizes something different in bhakti. and that will attract you. Yeah? Thank you. Yes, Prabhu.
So basically, when we see this, even bhakti comes from Krishna, right?
Yes.
That's what I believe. And let's say a kid comes into a family, right? He got that early, we got later, we got it now. So now in this scenario, how it is determined, like in say, how long it will be to get to Krishna consciousness better for a kid because he doesn't have a spiritual master as of now. But for us, it's going to be we have to choose, or it's going to come. How it works.
So, there were so many questions in there, so I will try to answer one or two of them. If I don't answer fully, you ask, right? First, how long will it take to get to the destination? Completely up to us. Completely up to us. If we can chant the Lord's name once with pure love, that's all you need. You can actually, in 1 second, you can go back. Right? So to get to that stage, how long it takes is all on us. The perfect instructions are there. How much of that are we able to follow is on us. Right? Now, your other question was, what about kids who are here, right? We have 2 little ones playing here. But even that is a great fortune. It doesn't happen very easily. They have gotten it because they have done something in their past birth that has allowed them to come here and listen to the Lord's names. Right? And now, if you think about kids, their hearts are pure. They have not absorbed all the, horribleness of the world yet, right? So the effect that hearing the names must be having for them is pretty high, right? So it's a very fortunate position, and that's why Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Suchinam Srimatam Gehe, he says, that if you do bhakti, let's say you don't get perfect love for Krishna, what happens? Right? Krishna says, don't worry. You will take next birth in a family of devotees where you will continue from where you left off. So, for them, their starting point is way ahead because they have done the previous portion sometime before us. So, that is why they start there. Now, how quickly they get to the end is on them and on us as parents as well. Right? That is why the scriptures say, as a parent, you should be able to guide the child in bhakti. Only then you should have kids. Otherwise, you should not have kids. That is what the scriptures say. So, that is our duty. So, how we help them get there, it will help. Did that answer? So, for them, you can make as much progress as you want. But the scriptures recommend that if you take a spiritual master, your progress accelerates. Because we don't have taste. So we need somebody to tell us, do this, don't do this. Right? And that is where the spiritual master comes in. What they do is they will take this knowledge from scriptures and give it to us in a targeted way. I can do some things relatively easily. He can do some other things relatively easily. What I find easy may be difficult for him. Right? So there are 500 things given in the scriptures. But what are the 2-3 things that if we adopt easily, we can get to it? The spiritual master knows. They can distill all of it and give us pointed instructions that we can apply. Otherwise, like we are speaking now, it's all generic in the sense it's applicable to everybody. I do not know which of these are best for you or fastest effect for you. That I do not know. But a spiritual master will, because they can see your heart. They will know what would help you make progress. Yeah? Thank you. Okay, thank you so much for your kind attention. Wonderful discussion as well. We went much deeper than I had planned. But I hope it was good. Please forgive me if I misspoke something. Happy to talk more offline, but thank you for your kind attention. Hope to see you again next week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Vanchakalpatarabhyascha kripasindhabhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namo. Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.